Welcome back to another episode of Light Beer, Dark Money. I'm Sean Noble.
I'm Chris Clements.
And
you, sir, have something to say today.
I have something to say.
Yes. I mean, you have something to say every podcast, but today especially is a special day because you have made a decision about something very crucial to the electorate.
Maybe. I think it depends on...
People are waiting to hear
Sean
Noble.
I doubt that. But
with bated breath.
If, for whatever reason, you were aware that I was seriously contemplating running for Congress in the Schweikert seat, I have decided...
David Schweikert's running for governor.
He is. And I have decided that I will not seek election in 2026.
Oh, that frees up my schedule a little bit.
Well, I appreciate...
hate to make it about me.
I do appreciate your encouragement and your wisdom in this. And I have talked to a number of people who have been very encouraging, very helpful in their discussions with me about this process, about whether to run or not. And, at the end of the day, I have very young children.
Yes, you do.
For those who
You've been
may
given
not
a
know,
second chance at a new life.
I have been given a second chance, and it seems stupid to put that at risk by doing something that would take a lot of time away from them.
Well, I mean, you're probably recognizing that, and I don't know all the circumstances of your previous life, but I mean, you were the chief of staff for one of the most consequential congressmen that we've had in Arizona, and that was all consuming.
It was consuming.
So you know the job. You understand what it takes to be successful.
Yes,
and I think that's what intrigued people about the idea of you running.
Well, that's true. I mean, I think that the experience I gained being Congressman Shattuck's chief of staff is something that's significant.
Oh, you were his chief 13 years?
Yeah, 14.
How 14? 15?
Well, 14 years I worked for him. Yeah.
I mean, that's first of all, that's rare. Most chief of staffs leave after a couple cycles to go make a boatload of money.
Right.
You left to go hawk dark money. So I mean, which is part of the reason why we're here. But you were a great chief of staff, and you actually taught a lot of other people what that job means and how to run a congressional office properly and with great constituent service and to serve the congressman respectfully and honorably. And so it makes sense for this to be a step for you if and when you decide to do it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that.
No, absolutely.
So,
I mean, that's how we became friends.
Right. And so anyway, I'll take a pass. We'll see how this plays out.
But also, I just want to, I'm going to just give you some kudos, because the other intriguing part about your candidacy that I was really fired up about is there are very few people within the conservative movement that can reach out to different factions of the conservative movement and have instant credibility within those factions. And you are one of them.
Well, I appreciate that.
You can reach out to the evangelicals and they get excited. You can reach out to the TPUSA people and they may not be super excited, but you've helped them and they know you. You're a known quantity. And same with the business community, with the chambers. And that is actually the type of leadership that we need in a congressperson.
Yeah.
Whoever this is needs to be able to do those things. I mean, I don't see anybody being able to do that right now.
Yeah.
And not to... I totally respect your wanting to be with your family and your position. I'm just hoping somebody can stand up and do something like that.
Well, and we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. I'm not sure.
I don't think it's the current head of the Republican Party.
Probably not.
Who's running?
Probably not.
I think Jay Feely should move.
Yeah, you said that. And
I really do. Jay, if you're listening, you need to call up your campaign people. You need to strip the Cybertruck. And have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
So he's got this. So after I interviewed him, I walked out to the parking lot with him. He's got this dark blue, like navy blue Cybertruck. And it's emblazoned with all his Jay Feely stuff. Oh. Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But it's a Cybertruck.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would pick a Cybertruck.
Look,
but it's fun.
I'm a big Tesla fan, as obviously, because I have a Tesla. And I did pay my $100 to reserve a Cybertruck, and I still have declined to exercise that option.
To move in that direction?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a race at Andy Biggs' seat that is heating up because we've got The
Mark
sheriff,
Lamb, yeah.
Mark Lamb,
who just got Trump's endorsement.
jumped in, got Trump's endorsement, and now I think Mr. Feely, Mr. Kicker, you need to move over to D1.
Yeah,
I think that would make a lot of sense. You have a lot of very powerful people behind you, and I think there'd be a lot more momentum and excitement if you were to move over to that race.
that would be interesting. Truly,
Yeah,
it would. I think he actually he has better name ID, I think, than people realize.
Oh, of course. And he's got a lot of people who are very earnest about supporting him,
Yeah.
including our former governor.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it would make a lot of sense.
could
Because
very well.
from a grassroots perspective, I think Sheriff Lamb, it's his to lose.
Yeah.
In that district specifically.
Yeah.
And with the Trump endorsement, and also, I mean, I would assume a quiet Biggs endorsement, although he wouldn't do that openly, that it would be his to lose. Yeah.
He might.
He might.
He might.
Well, you
Yeah,
would
never
know.
You
I
never
would.
know.
I don't know these things.
You mentioned
I just read a lot.
you mentioned the ability to reach to different factions of the party, which I believe I do have some skill in that regard.
I think it's a unique skill, and someone who understands the movement factions, understands the grassroots, understands the business, because winning elections, as you know more than anybody else, is all about building coalitions.
Yeah.
And what coalition can you build? Coming both within the primary and then coming out of the primary.
Right. So it does then lead to this discussion that's been kind of going on.
What discussion is that?
And this is something that if you are not on X or in the podcast, the heavy duty podcast space,
Podcast sphere,
I guess maybe. I mean, there is a lot of angst
yes.
with one Tucker Carlson.
Yes.
And it all stems.
It's sort of angst that's been building for some time.
And he's been doing, you and I have had discussions about questioning some of the things he's done.
Yeah.
The interviews he's done. And this all culminated last week in him interviewing on his podcast, Nick Fuentes. If you don't know who Nick Fuentes is, good for you, because he's a piece of shit.
Yep.
This is a kid who
he is garbage incarnate.
Yeah, he is a complete anti-Semitic, racist, misogynist pig.
Yes, completely.
Who thinks of himself as somehow
who hates everyone.
Yeah,
he actually hates Tucker Carlson. Said it outright. Hates Charlie Kirk. Has claimed that he's infiltrated TPUSA to the point where he now controls the entire organization.
His I guess his followers are called groypers.
Groypers, yeah.
Groypers?
I had never heard that before until recently.
So apparently there's a what I would assume is a fairly small subset of young men who follow the likes of Nick Fuentes, who sounds a little bit kind of like an Andrew Tate type, although not nearly as manly as Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate's just a full-on misogynist pig.
Piece of garbage.
But he's like a buff guy that's in shape and, that kind of thing. Fuentes is a wimpy little kid.
Andrew Tate is still hiding in Romania, I think, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Nick Fuentes might be hiding somewhere else here soon, too.
Well, he's not a good human being. And so Tucker had him on the show, and Nick Fuentes said crazy things like he completely admires Stalin. And he loves Hitler and
loves Stalin's birth. Celebrates
his birthday. Talks about the Jews controlling everything, and they're the problem with everything. Everything stems back to the Jews, and Tucker
it's a disgusting
did zero pushback.
Nothing.
Zero pushback. Basically platformed him. And then when people began to criticize Tucker for that, you had Kevin Roberts, the head of the Heritage Foundation, who said, "We will not allow Tucker to be canceled." Well, no one's talking about
No one's talking about canceling Tucker.
I mean,
It's-
you can't
it's-
cancel Tucker.
It's
The
a
guy's got a
valid
huge
criticism
platform.
when you're looking at the face of evil to push back on evil.
Yeah.
Okay, this isn't a person that is actually, I would say this to Tucker if you were sitting here, but been loving on you.
Yeah.
He hasn't been loving on anybody.
No.
And by the way, you spoke at Charlie Kirk's funeral, said some things that got you in hot water too. And this is your time to push back and maybe defend your friend.
Yeah. And he
It
didn't.
makes no sense.
Yeah. So
I don't understand why Tucker, this is what's so infuriating. He can have somebody like Lee Strobel on, who's a Christian apologetic person. He can have Bishop Barron on, one of the leading Catholic bishops. He can have all these different men of faith who are actually genuinely men of faith, and then have this complete total piece of shit on his podcast.
right.
And not push back.
Yeah. It is. I don't care that he has.
Excuse
who
my
he has.
French, Mom, if you're listening.
Yeah. I don't care who he has on his podcast, but to let just craziness go unchecked
Yes.
is not being a responsible member of the discussion.
Well, and should we give our listeners, viewers, a taste of what this guy is?
Well, yeah. So actually, you point out Ben Shapiro had
This was great.
a 45-minute tirade.
Actually, it was actually very well thought
Yeah,
out.
no, it was. I encourage you to watch the entire thing, but we'll just play a couple minutes at tops here.
Yeah.
So let's go.
Tucker Carlson decided that it was important not only to host Fuentes, but to smooth over his views, water them down, and make them far more palatable to a normal audience. To understand just what Tucker did here, we must actually examine what Nick Fuentes says on his show. Nick Fuentes says women want to be
Women want to be but there's like a lot of women that really want a guy to beat the out of them.
Fuentes says that women are who shouldn't be in politics.
I will continue my crusade against women in politics. Have you ever stopped and considered, maybe if you get offended, there's such a strong emotional reaction, maybe that's one of the reasons why you shouldn't be making political decisions. I'm not attacking women. I'm attacking whores. I'm attacking stupid, dirty bitch.
Fuentes says that Jim Crow was actually better for black people.
It's better for them too, number one, but number two, who cares?
Fuentes says that white people are justified in being racist.
White people are every single bit justified in being racist, to the extent that that means going out of your way to avoid black people when you see them.
Nick Fuentes is a Hitler admirer and a Holocaust denier.
It is Heil Hitler Friday, Nick. Heil Hitler.
Hitler was a pedophile and kind of a pagan. It's like, well, he was also really cool.
Ooh.
He's so gay.
Yeah. Well,
not that there's anything wrong with that, but this guy's a complete total tool.
it is astounding that what disappoints me more than anything is that this guy has any bit of an audience.
Oh, there are people online defending him in ways that that's just unbelievable. Douglas Murray has an article in the New York Post today, basically blasting Tucker, and they've had their feud going on for some time. And on his Instagram page, you should see the vile crap people are lashing out at him.
Yeah.
You're a tool of the Jews. You've been bought off by the Jews. It is crazy.
Well, the thing one of the things that Tucker said in the podcast with Fuentes was that Christian Zionists are the people he dislikes the most.
Well, I guess he dislikes me.
Yeah. You and Tucker have been friends.
We've been friendly, yes. I've had him as part of our Inside Washington program.
Yeah.
We've texted back and forth on election day. I'm flabbergasted that he's gone this way. I'm completely flummoxed.
It is truly. I mean,
Kevin Roberts. What the heck?
So Kevin Roberts basically was like, Tucker will always, be a friend of heritage. Whatever. Okay, that's fine. But nobody's trying to cancel. This isn't about canceling. This is about saying when when people say things that are absolutely outrageous and not consistent with the conservative movement,
Yes.
they have to be called out on that.
And you have a great historical perspective on this.
Well, I mean, if you will recall, the last time we had a movement within the conservative movement that was very anti-Semitic, it was the John Birch Society.
Yep.
And William F. Buckley worked hard to exercise, as in push out, the John Birch Society from the conservative movement. Said, you are not welcome here, because that is not, they accused Eisenhower of being a communist, everything, the Jews controlling everything, all this, all the same type of stuff we're hearing now. And Buckley, to his credit, and, put himself took a lot of grief, but actually did the right thing by pushing the John Birch Society out of the conservative movement.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it is time for us as conservatives to say to the likes of a Nick Fuentes, you are not
and
a part,
his kind.
Yeah, you are not a part of this movement. You are not a part of the conservative movement. And anybody who is apologetic towards that, Tucker, needs to get their head examined and straighten up, or you also are not a part of the conservative movement any longer.
Yeah. And for a Kevin Roberts, who's head of the largest conservative grassroots organization in the country, forget about TPUSA, Heritage Foundation it's twice the size.
I mean, it's
if
been
not
there
three times. It's been there forever. It is the cornerstone of the conservative movement. For him to come out and not forcefully condemn a Nick Fuentes, instead forcefully defending Tucker not saying anything about Nick Fuentes.
Right.
I think he should consider his resignation.
Oh, it's past time for him to resign.
Yeah.
There's just no question in my mind. He's past time. Ed Fulner is spinning in his grave.
Yeah, you said that yesterday. I couldn't agree more.
It is,
and we just buried Ed Fulner 2 months ago.
What is outrageous is that the Heritage Foundation has clearly lost its way from the top down. And what is also disappointing is the fact that there haven't been mass resignations from the Heritage Foundation.
I know they flipped their chief of staff after this all came out.
Not enough.
Not enough.
I'm deeply disappointed that either Kevin's not gone or there are a bunch of people threatening to leave if he doesn't go.
Yeah.
And the board, where are they?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they're going to have some cleanup in aisle 6 over the weekend.
Maybe.
I don't know.
We'll see.
But it has to happen. He needs to go.
But this is, what's astounding is as the Democrats are committing suicide, we are in the middle of a stupid fight instead of being unified.
Well, but the sad thing is that, Nick Fuentes is actually the other side of the Zoran Mamdani coin.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
There's extremists on both sides. Mamdani is about as extreme you can get, and nobody in the Democratic Party is condemning him. Barack Obama's like, hey, I'll help you out. Well, let's get together.
I mean,
let's go hang out.
I've said for a long
peanut
time
butter cups.
that the political spectrum is not a line; it's a circle.
Yes,
and you go so far to the right, you eventually end up with the left. So you're so far to the left, so far to the right, you end up, at the bottom of that circle, meeting and that's where Nick Fuentes and
they're
Dami are
ideologically adjacent.
Yeah, which
that's
is
where they
freaking scary.
Yeah,
which is why
complete
Fuentes
lunacy.
needs to be completely pushed out. He is whatever, and maybe he doesn't view himself as a part of the conservative movement. I hope he doesn't, because he certainly isn't.
Well, no, he does. I think he sees himself as like, a MAGA adjacent. And
although he's been critical of MAGA as well.
And you know who is really at the center of attention on this in terms of which way he's going to go is the vice president. JD Vance needs to figure this out very quickly, because he and Tucker are very close.
Yeah, that's true.
So he needs to figure this out very quickly, where's he's going to land. And if he wants to run, which he is running, they are building the organization as we sit here, as we're speaking. That organization is being built. if he wants to be the lead in that and be able to unite the country, he's got to condemn Fuentes in no uncertain terms.
Yeah.
Because certainly, go back, ladies and gentlemen.
We don't promote other
podcasts.
Fuentes has trashed JD Vance because he doesn't have a white wife.
Every which way.
Just
I was just going to say, Ben Shapiro does a great job of really encapsulating all the crap that this kid says about everyone. That's why the Tucker interview is so inexplicable.
Yeah.
He has trashed everyone. Including Tucker, including JD Vance and his Indian wife. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
He's a complete total piece of garbage.
Yep. True.
So we don't normally promote other podcasts that are much larger than ours. However,
well, I mean,
that podcast was fantastic.
Yeah, you got to watch it. Let's see. Let's go to so Trump did 60 Minutes.
Yes.
And there are a couple clips on there that we ought to talk about. Let's go to the ICE.
More recently, Americans have been watching videos of ICE tackling a young mother, tear gas being used in a Chicago residential neighborhood, and the smashing of car windows. Have some of these raids gone too far?
No, I think they haven't gone far enough because we've been held back by the judges, by the liberal judges that were put in by Biden and by Obama.
You're okay with those tactics?
Yeah, because you have to get the people out.
So I know what Norah O'Donnell was trying to do. She's trying to set it up so that he looks like he's a dictator.
Yeah.
And these selective videos that they showed. But here's the thing.
They are so selective.
Yeah, but
because they're taken completely out of context.
Well, not only that, but here's the thing. We are coming off an administration, the Biden administration, that not only protected illegal aliens, but promoted illegal aliens. I mean, basically said, come here, you get everything you want. We'll give you basically everything. And so
most of the employment data that we saw coming out of that administration was the employment of illegals.
Yeah. So the illegals have, all of a sudden they're starting to get the sense of entitlement. Well, I should get these things. I should get these benefits. They told me I was going to get these benefits. My friends are getting these benefits. We set up a system which was destined to collapse.
Absolutely.
And so Trump is saying, look, we are getting back to law and order. This isn't going to work. And what you had is a bunch of liberals getting in the way of ICE doing their job.
Yeah.
Which
all
then
funded, by the way.
which then escalated the tensions and made things, that emboldened illegals to fight back. Well, look, if you are fighting back against law enforcement, you're gonna get taken down.
Yeah.
I mean,
and a lot of people, because of the sanctuary city policies, and we've talked about this before, are getting wrapped up into this because they're living with criminals.
Yeah.
So because local law enforcement will not cooperate with ICE, that ICE is then forced to go to an apartment looking for a bad guy, someone who's got a rap sheet a mile long, has no business being in this country, should have been in prison a long time ago, and guess what they find? A whole
bunch of illegals.
Whole bunch of illegals.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening.
Yeah. Yep. So
and then you have these, white liberals who are on the streets running their cars into
getting
border
in the
patrol.
way. Yeah. I mean, it's
and yelling and screaming and getting their face painted with,
yeah. Not to mention the people shooting at ICE agents. So, I think that this will dissipate once they've rounded up.
You've got. I saw a figure the other day, like 1.3 million people have self-deported.
Oh wow!
And so that needs to accelerate, and if they can accelerate that, and I think they've hit the 500,000 mark in terms of arrests, deportations, and they want to accelerate that. So listen. This is what people voted for, and the left wants to accentuate the imagery of this to make it seem like, oh, these people are innocent. They're just innocent people caught up in Gestapo-like tactics.
No,
and that's
these
not it at
people
all.
broke the law coming here illegally, period.
Well, if you're
And
going to
then
go
there's a
after
bunch that have
after
done
hardened
beyond that.
criminals, and you are harboring hardened criminals, that you're going to get sucked up in that. The most outrageous thing is how some of these illegals have gotten legitimate positions in on running school boards in Iowa,
right.
and crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, that
It's
is pretty
nuts.
bonkers.
Which is why, I mean, from a public policy perspective, if you really want this to stop, we need national E-Verify.
Yeah.
National E-Verify, law of the land in every 50 states.
Is it not?
It's not.
Oh, interesting. All right, let's go to 4.
This past Tuesday, while speaking to American troops in Japan, you talked about U.S. cities that are having trouble with crime. And you said, if we need more than the National Guard, we'll send more than the National Guard. What does that mean, send more than the National Guard?
Well, if you had to send in the Army or if you had to send in the Marines, I'd do that in a heartbeat. You have a thing called the Insurrection Act. You know that, right? Do you know that I could use that immediately and no judge can even challenge you on that? But I haven't chosen to do it because I haven't felt we need it.
So you're going to send the military into American cities?
Well, if I wanted to, I could. If I wanted to use the Insurrection Act. The Insurrection Act has been used routinely by presidents. And if I needed it, that would mean I could bring in the Army, the Marines, I could bring in whoever I want. But I haven't chosen to use it. I hope you give me credit for that.
No, they're not going to give him credit.
She's not going to give you credit for anything because her entire interview was a complete setup.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong. And I mean, the violence in some of these cities is
It's palpable. It's real.
It's insurrection-y.
Yeah, and I think you're right. This will pass. And there's a lot of people in these. I mean, certainly in D.C. when the National Guard was there were a lot of happy people there.
The mayor
was
happy.
happy, and now she's been able to recalibrate
Yeah.
her policies and recalibrate how the DC police engage within the city.
Yeah.
And that's actually that's actually the proposition. Here's your opportunity to take back your streets.
Right.
And we're trying to help you.
Yeah, exactly. What's the Jon Stewart?
Oh, he's always going to have a Jon Stewart.
All right,
such
Alex,
and such in here.
Surprise us with your Jon Stewart one.
So for those of you who were wondering during this delightful first year of the presidency who the you was that he was going to work so tirelessly for, it turns out he is for you. If you are a personal friend, or if you donated a lot of money, or if you enriched his meme coin businesses, or you enriched his son's crypto coin businesses, or if you beat up police officers on his behalf, or if you bought him a plane, or if you probably promised not to reveal anything incriminating about him. Those are the yous it turns out that he was for.
All right. So, but it's also used.
Says the multi-millionaire Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart encapsulates those Hollywood hypocrites who sit back and they enjoy Trump's policies quietly. But they criticize all these, sort of incidental things happening around Trump.
Right.
I saw a post the other day on Instagram. I'm digressing from this a little bit, but it encapsulates what I'm talking about. From Michael Stipe of REM.
Oh yeah.
Now we're conservatives. We're longtime REM fans, and he said I voted for Mamdani, and he's got the shirt that says all the free stuff that Mamdani's going to get. And I posted back at him. I go, Michael Stipe, multi-millionaire, supports socialism when it's entrepreneurial capitalism that made him so rich.
It's a good point.
Same with Jon Stewart.
Yeah, same with Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart will interview Mamdani. He said, oh, you're so wonderful. When you didn't, Jon Stewart, to your credit, Michael Stipe, to your credit, you were part of a little label back in the day called IRS Records, grinding it out on the college circuit, recording, making an album every year because that's how you made money back then.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, here comes Warner Brothers Records.
Right.
To give you $80 million, the largest record contract at that time.
Yep.
Government didn't do that for you.
Nope.
You did.
You did. You did that. You did that.
Yeah. And you're for socialism? What's wrong with you?
Although Obama would
It's
say that
a-
he
it-
did, that the government
It's
did.
the hypocrisy of the Hollywood entertainment left is
Yeah.
just beyond
It is.
reproach.
It is because truly, for the most
And he
part,
has that picture of Maxwell up there. Who propped up Jeffrey Epstein? Hollywood.
Hollywood, yeah. Well, and I mean,
It's crazy.
but it is true. I mean, Hollywood is a great example of people who, for the most part, work really hard to get where
Yes.
they go. You know, to get
It is
where
a
they
grind.
because it is hard. They just have to keep going, and they don't give up. If you give up, you don't make it.
No.
So everyone that has made it big has done it the hard way.
Absolutely.
Almost nobody is just handed something. It's just not the way that process works there. And yeah, once you get in,
Tom
it gets
Hanks
easier.
was transgender before it was cool. In Booze and Buddies, dressing up as a woman to stay in a woman's hotel,
Right.
so that they
Right.
had a place to live.
The but it is
But
interesting
that was his first role,
right. It's just interesting that these people in Hollywood who have to work hard to get there end up being totally liberal. And
I always think, but are they?
I-
You know,
I don't know.
I
I guess I'll believe what they say,
well, or what they do.
but why should
I think
'Cause they're
there's
actors, right?
I think many of them are hard. There's some that are hardcore liberals, but there's other actors who say there's so many more that are genuinely conservative who voted for Trump, but they'll never say it
They just don't
because the bubble that they live in, they will get ostracized.
Yeah. That's a good point.
That's why so many of them have left. They've left Los Angeles. They've moved to places like Austin.
Yeah.
You look at somebody like Matthew McConaughey.
Right.
He's a pretty conservative guy when you listen to what he says, and he moved his family to Texas.
Back to Texas.
You know,
yeah.
lot of entertainers have moved to Nashville,
Yeah.
to Franklin, Tennessee, which is pretty conservative place.
True.
Yeah.
True. So we've really waited till the deep into our podcast to talk about probably the most important thing that happened this week.
Absolutely, the most important thing, which
And that
people
was-
either love or they hate.
Yeah, on Saturday night, probably one of the most epic World Series games ever played.
Oh, completely.
I mean, just absolutely astounding. We'll set it up because we're going to show a clip of the end of the game. But to set it up, this is the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. And the series was an amazing series.
Incredible.
I mean, you know, a
All
lot of people,
props to the Blue
a lot of
Jays.
people went in just assuming, oh, Dodgers are going to sweep, no big deal. Blue Jays wanted it.
Yeah.
They wanted it, and they played their hearts out. Kudos to them.
The Dodgers bats went cold.
Yeah,
They played, actually, if you listen to all the commentary, they played horribly this series.
there was
It
a
was
lot
it
of
was their
challenges.
worst series. It
I
was
mean,
their worst outing.
But for a couple pitchers,
yeah.
Yamamoto being the most important.
The Dodgers went into a slump during the World Series.
yeah, it was kind of crazy. So, the Blue Jays win big the first game. You know, they score 11 runs.
11-4.
Second game, Dodgers come back, and then
Which was so crucial.
yeah,
And then came game 3,
and
which we were texting each other 11,
Yeah.
15, whatever it was, 18 innings. Walk-off home run by Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
You can't make it up.
thank goodness. And then they dropped game 4.
Oh.
So
They dropped the next
the
two
next
games
two.
at Dodger
So they
Stadium.
leave LA down 3-2.
Yeah.
So they have to win twice.
Which demonstrates the slump.
yeah.
Like to lose, you would think they would at least win 2 at home. Their bats just went cold.
Yeah. So they win, or they win game 6. And then comes game 7. And I'm telling you, It got worrisome.
So where were you during Game 7?
On Game 7, I was at a sports bar in San Francisco with my daughter, Kate. And there were more Blue Jays fans than Dodger fans, but a lot of both. And it was rowdy.
Yeah.
And it was tough to watch because the game, for the most part, was a Blue Jays game.
It absolutely was.
Until the very end.
You know what's so funny is that I touched on this in the last podcast about my little superstition about our Chase Lounge in our home, the Chase Lounge sectional, and how during that game, that 18-inning game, I actually moved back to the spot where I usually like to watch games after my wife went to sleep, and we won that game.
Right.
So Game 6, kudos to my wife, Sasha Clements. It is Halloween, and she says, honey, I'm taking the girl trick-or-treating. Do you want to stay home and watch the game?
Yes.
And I did not move. First of all, I jumped for joy around the house, and then I did not move from that spot.
Right.
Now, for Game 7, we had a Halloween party to go to. I was dressed up as Batman. And I found a spot at the party to not move. And I was holding up the house on a pillar.
There you go. So we get to the top of the ninth. We're down 2.
I can't remember now.
I can't believe it. Anyway, we tie it with Rojas, who hasn't played much lately.
No, he was brought in Game 6.
He hits a.
I can't remember.
He hits a home run.
I can't remember that last part.
And ties up the game. Saves the day, and then in the top of the 11th, Will Smith, the catcher, hits a bomb,
smacks it,
and we go up 5-4. And then it's the bottom of the 11th, and I'm thinking, how are we going to do this? The Blue Jays had the bases loaded with 0 outs.
Yeah.
0 outs, the bases are loaded, and I'm thinking, we're done.
Yeah.
Because, they can tie it with anything, basically. Yeah. And a base hit, they win. So they've had the infield in, and there's a shot to second base. Rojas fields it, throws it to home. We get the out at home.
Which is so he grabs it. I remember that he grabs the ball and he hesitates for like a second.
Yeah,
and we've seen that before because it's really showing. Where do I go to first or do I go home? And he's like, I gotta go home.
Goes home. So we've got first and third, 1 out, and we'll show you the end of the game
with the midget.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Kirk bounces one up the middle. Bets to the bag. Over to first to beat the champ. You gotta knock him out. The Dodgers stand tall and win back-to-back titles.
The bat breaks on Kirk's back breaks, and he's not 5'8". He's 5'5". He's just a little dude. And he was dangerous this series.
He
had some big
hits.
Silly, but he had some great hits. He was dangerous. Every part of that organization, the Blue Jays organization, those guys were smacking everything. And they weren't playing long ball; they were playing small ball, and that's their game. And Vlad. It's just great players. Great organization. You got to give it to them.
Yeah.
I saw somebody from one of the networks say, "Oh, the better team lost," and that's ridiculous. The Dodgers have been the best team in the National League pretty much the whole year. They went through a little slump in January, came back, and made the run.
Yeah.
Knocked out the Phillies, knocked out everybody they needed to knock out.
Right. Well, and and the MVP went to Yamamoto, which absolutely. So this is a guy who pitches a complete game.
Yeah.
In Game 2, right? Then he pitches 6 innings in Game 6.
Oh yeah.
96 pitches, and then turns around the next day and closes out this game. He gets 3 wins in the World Series.
He was paid to come to the United States to play for the Dodgers, $350 million. People called it outrageous. And
Dodgers are.
This is the thing about the Dodgers. I think people don't realize they have one of the greatest farm systems, one of the greatest organizations in terms of bringing players up in the country. Always have, ever since we were kids.
Yeah.
And before free agency and all this other stuff, and before the big money came into the game, I mean, have this amazing ability to identify players, identify talent, and bring it into the organization. And then the organization is so charitable with its players and with its people.
Mm-hmm.
They've had missteps, like
Sure.
like the Sisters of Perpetual, whatever that was.
Yep.
They've had missteps, absolutely. But they have a player on their team who missed the World Series. I'm spacing his name, but whose wife had a miscarriage before the series, and 51. I'm spacing it, but yeah, you have your laptop, so
yeah, I'll look it up.
And the Toronto Blue Jays players even had his number on their hats, and it's just that's the type of organization they are. That's the type of organization they are.
Alex Vesia.
Yeah, Vesia. Alex Vesia. And, they kept Clayton Kershaw around all these years, fought to keep him. Kersh was past his prime 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You can argue. Really always struggled in the offseason, struggled in the playoffs. One of the reasons why the Washington Nationals won a World Series, because Kersh kind of laid an egg during that series. I'm a Nats fan too, so I was really bummed, but I'm glad they won. Just a tremendous organization, and then for Dave Roberts, when he's up on the dais, to recognize the wives. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was really great for him to do that, because they are the lifeblood of those players, and those families sacrifice a lot for those players' success.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've ever seen a skipper do that, and Doc did that, and that was good to hear, and good for him. And I think you and I should go to opening day next year.
Yeah, we should. Absolutely. Yep.
You bring a child, I'll bring a child. I'll bring the oldest child, I think, because she.
And I'll bring the youngest, because I almost took Leo to game 5.
Okay.
And I'm glad I didn't, because I have historically taken the sons one at a time when they're young to a Dodgers game as their trip. It started with Adam. He was probably 6 when I took him. When I took Seth, he was probably 4. I took Vin when he was 2, or maybe 3. And so next year will be a good time to take Leo.
And they will be Dodger fans their entire lives, because they'll always remember that. And my kids know how much the Dodgers mean to me, because I've taken them to multiple Dodger games at different times in their lives, but none more than my daughter, Grace. And Gracie was the first one who called me. Gracie was up during the 18-inning game texting me, and that is one of those special things.
Yeah.
And you're going to have it with one of your kids. You just buy into what you're selling. And Gracie and I were together at the World Series last year when Freddie Freeman hit that home run.
Well, it was great to watch Game 7 in San Francisco with my daughter Kate.
Yeah,
that was, I mean,
and
it was very cool.
And we had a big group hug after the Dodgers won. My son came up and wife came up. She goes, "Are you okay now?" I go, "You know what? It's a great day.
Yeah,
it actually is a great day for the Clemens family. Arizona won, ASU won, USC inexplicably won, and then the Dodgers won the World Series.
Yeah.
Not a bad day.
Not a bad day. Well, speaking of not a bad day, we'll see what happens tonight.
Yes, we have elections happening.
Lots of elections.
Predictions. Oh, fabled one.
Well, I don't know if I'll be very good at this, but, but I mean, this election.
Well, Mamdami's going to win.
Mamdami's going to likely win. I mean,
and
you
we're
never
going to
know.
witness the fall of New York in short order.
Probably. There's a decent chance that the Republican wins the New Jersey governor's race.
Yes.
I think it's 50-50 or less in Virginia.
I think. Well, I mean, all polls point to a split ticket there.
Yeah,
which
where
is
the
probably
AG wins, but the governor
which
loses.
is probably the best you could hope for.
Maybe
in this with as far left as Northern Virginia has become.
An important one is this ballot initiative in California.
Oh, Proposition 50.
Proposition 50, where they're going to try to undo the redistricting commission, so the Democrats can redraw the lines and get 5 more seats for the Democrats. That probably wins.
Yeah.
They've outspent the no campaign by tremendous amounts. And I watched a commercial while I was in San Francisco over the weekend that was very well done and just a complete lie. But people don't know. And they're counting on
the sad thing about all that is that we're tribalizing our country.
Yeah.
You've got you've got districts or different blue states that have actually sizable, not Republican majorities, but sizable Republican electorate, whether it be Massachusetts or New Hampshire or California. California is still 40% Republican.
Yeah.
That all changes after this.
Yep.
And what's going to continue to happen as those states become more blue is those people leave and red states become redder, and blue states become bluer, and blue states and the people who are left who can't leave become more impoverished.
Yeah. Yeah, this commercial was annoying because
and more desperate.
Yeah, it had all the glitterati of the Democratic Party, AOC, Obama, you name it, Elizabeth Warren, different things about why they needed to vote for Prop 50, and one of the reasons they gave was to protect a woman's right to choose. And I was like, huh? What?
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
already enshrined.
That is
in
California. There is no chance, no matter who's in Congress, that's going away.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you talking about here?
It's
just
preying
a
on people's
complete-
ignorance.
Yeah, it was just a complete lie.
Yeah.
A complete lie.
Yeah, I mean, California on every social issue is about as far left as you can go.
And there's no way that, I mean, it was absolutely insane. So letting the Democrat legislature redraw the lines somehow is ensuring a woman's right to choose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you think this
Don't
proposition, a lot of Republicans have claimed that regardless of the outcome, it's going to be wrapped up in the courts for some time?
I don't think so.
No, you don't? Okay.
No, I think this is a pretty straight shot. If they repeal the commission, then they can do this, because the way the language is written is it's a temporary repeal. For like
well,
2
nothing's
cycles,
temporary when it
but
comes to the
we'll see.
Democratic Party.
Yeah. So,
I mean, we're learning that right now as a shutdown, because the whole fight is over these Obamacare subsidies.
right.
Which were supposed to be temporary.
And the shutdown is now the longest shutdown ever.
Well, it'll be over by tomorrow.
We'll see.
I think by tomorrow, Thursday, it'll be over.
Let's put it this way, folks. On
because
Thursday,
the elections will be over, and they will tried to prove their point in Northern Virginia and elsewhere.
Yeah.
And depending on how things go, we'll see.
Well, look forward to Thursday. We will have plenty to talk about between the elections and whatever's happening with the shutdown or not.
Yes, we will.
All righty.
All right. Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen, that Sean Noble will not be running for Congress. But other people are, and we need to hold them accountable.
Yep.
And that's
absolutely.
what we will do on this show.
100%.
And remember, we are a podcast about faith, freedom, and free enterprise, the founding principles of our fair republic.
That is correct.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks everybody. See ya.